I found out I had epilepsy when I was at university. And what happened was I'd had a seizure, but then a few weeks later, I had another seizure, and I went to see the neurologist, and I said that what happened before I had the seizure is my bedroom just seemed really big. And he said that could be a sign, that could be your aura. And it means if you experience that again, you can prepare for it, and you're going to have a seizure, you can warn everybody. A few weeks later, I'm sat in a lecture, and it's very hard to explain what's about to happen before you have a seizure. Reality is very confusing. And I was sat there, and suddenly the lecturer just seemed really small and really far away. And I couldn't figure it out. And then I thought, oh, this might mean I'm going to have a seizure. So I stood up in the middle of the lecture, and I said, nobody panic. I'm going to have a seizure. Everything will be okay. And then I laid down and waited to have a seizure. Which, if I'm honest, took longer than I would have hoped. You never want to have one. But once you've announced it to a room full of people, you'd quite like it to hurry up. Anyway, good news, I had a seizure. And then I had a seizure. And what happens is, unless they're longer than 5 minutes, you don't have to go to hospital if it's not your first one. So I went back to my halls where I stayed at the time, and I slept. And the next day, a friend from my course came to visit me, and he said, I just wanted to check on you to make sure you're okay. I said, I'm fine. I said, the main thing is I'm just so glad I got to tell everybody not to panic. And he said, yeah, that is not what happens. He said, you did stand up in the middle of the lecture, and you said, everybody panic. The room is massive, and I think I'm about to die. He said, you had your backpack on. Everyone thought it was a bomb. Like, no one knew what was going on.